Welcome to the Bee Student Podcast, and thank you for joining me. I'm Betsy Gardner. I'm a CEO in Central Florida, a public speaker, a business consultant, and executive coach. I've worked across many industries and sectors, spanning several global markets. As the president and CEO of the Winter Park Chamber, I have the unique opportunity of connecting with the most dynamic, talented, and innovative professionals across our region. Think about it as the B side to a record, where there's the thing that they recorded as the hit, but then there's the stuff they're passionate about on the B side. I launch Bee Student Podcast to bring the experts I'm in conversation with on a daily basis to you, to help you be more successful and impactful in your work. So let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Bee Student Podcast. One of the things I love about our show is that we explore our guests' winding and wildly creative paths to success. Our guest today has a fascinating story to tell. I'm your host, Betsy Gardner, and today we're heating things up. Literally, I'm beyond excited to welcome a very special guest to the show. He's a culinary rock star, a Food Network celebrity chef, frequent collaborator with the James Beard Foundation, host of the Puerto Rico Wine and Food Festival, and founder of Orlando's best new restaurant, Chayote Barrio Kitchen, and the ambassador of Latin Caribbean flavor and innovation. Welcome, Chef Mario Pagán. We are so happy that you're here. Chef Mario is joining us today, not just to chat about his journey from the kitchen to the global stage, but to treat us to an exclusive cooking demonstration right here at the Edible Education Experience. It's here to host diverse programming and educate and inspire those who have a passion for food, cooking, and farm-to-table dining experience. Now, whether you're tuning in from your car, your couch, or your kitchen, get ready for a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to turn passion, grit, and a little saison into a legendary culinary career. Let's get cooking. Welcome, Chef. I'm thrilled that you're here.
Thank you for having me.
I have had so many questions to ask you in preparation for this. I've had to stay in the other room prior to getting started. So we know on this podcast, we like to explore the B side of people's record. I know I'm dating myself by saying that, but we know that the record label wanted the hit to go on the A side, and the B side is what the artist felt passionate about. So I'd love today to really dive deep into what your passion comes from and how it's informed the way you're delivering something truly special at Chayote here in Winter Park. So, there's so many things I've learned about you that are fascinating and how we end up with truly imaginative food. One of the things I've heard about you is that you are trained as an architect.
Architectural school in Miami, actually, for 2.5 years. And once I saw the culinary, college in North Miami, I just lost it.
But don't you wonder sometimes about chefs who haven't had some architectural training, because you're building all those layers and all those little fragile, delicate structures out of food sometimes?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it was natural. I think it was natural. And that had helped me a lot in terms of how you put it together, the colors, structures, dimension of a dish. And that helps out the flavor as well, because all those layers are, they're combining, and I'm always looking at it as an artistic view. So, that I think it was a great foundation for what I'm doing.
So much of being a chef involves chemistry, science, now physics, plating these things, and a lot of stress. But also, you do come to this from the perspective as an artist. The first time I met you, you had a Jean-Michel Basquiat phone cover. And I said, tell me about your connection to Basquiat's artwork. Tell us a little bit about how art informs your life and your approach to cooking.
I mean, in architectural school, I've always, the class that I always loved was art history.
Yeah.
I mean, because I just love art. And I said to myself, whenever I have my first restaurant, first thing that I'm going to do with my first paycheck is going to buy art, right?
So what did you buy?
I bought a local Puerto Rican artist who is now my broker, my art broker in Puerto Rico. It's a Puerto Rican artist he's probably 80 right now. So he was pretty hot back then. And he's still hot. I mean, don't get me wrong. Luis Hernandez Cruz is his name, and I still have that. I still have that piece of art, and I really cherish it because it was my first one.
Maybe we can get a picture of it to put in the show notes. I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Do you get involved with the selection of the art that goes into your restaurants?
Yes. I actually, when you saw that cover, the Basquiat, Jean-Michel Basquiat Foundation did a portfolio 2004, 2005, and I bought one back then.
Smart move.
Yeah, I don't have them any longer because they gain
a lot of value.
A lot of value, and I was really happy on letting them go.
That was a cause for celebration.
Yeah, I kind of beat myself every now and then because I don't have it any longer. But those were my pride and joy. I can say that I had something Basquiat at some time.
I love it. Now you got the Basquiat phone cover.
Exactly.
So I've never seen, quite frankly, a build out in Orlando like Chayote, and it's in Winter Park. I want to be clear about that because we're loyal to Winter Park. But in the Orlando restaurant scene, I've never seen the care and attention to really the stagecraft of creating a restaurant, the way I've seen and what you all have achieved in Chayote. It's really special. I was fortunate enough to live in Miami for a year, and living in Miami is this immersive, amazing, transformative experience. It takes you to a place that is America and is so many other things to boot. I get that feeling when I'm in your restaurant. Can you tell us a little bit about the process that went into making Chayote this immersive, almost theatrical experience of going somewhere truly special and different?
We hired a group of architects, Shea Group, all women. It was.
We're going to talk more about that in a minute.
Yeah, and I've always said the inspiration on my career has been the women in my life, and I'll tell you.
Can't wait to hear more about
later.
that.
So they asked me before they started designing anything, any ideas. They asked me, so what do you like? What type of art do you like? What type of colors do you like? But what they did is that they took a collage of all the restaurants that I've had in the past. They started Googling them. And, they came up with that beautiful design of the restaurant, which is great. I mean,
I think that the amount was in the millions to get that built out. And it shows. It really shows. Yeah. It's such an exciting thing. Yeah, I'm sure. There's so much that goes into the front loading of a restaurant, and it's such a risky thing to do. Yes. One of the things that I like to focus on this podcast is courage. Tell us about the courage that it took to become not just a chef, but now the owner of 4 restaurants. I know you launched one last night in Puerto Rico. What is your pathway to courage that enables you to do something that we all hear all the time? Restaurants fail. You don't want to do that. How do you overcome that risk profile that everyone knows? I know probably some of it is belief in your craft and talent, but tell us about that process of summoning the courage to open maybe your first restaurant and then further ones.
So, my first restaurant it's not that it was easy, but it was easy because I was working for who became my mentor, Alfredo Ayala in Puerto Rico. And I was working at a restaurant called Chayote.
Really?
1996.
I love it when we reference the 90s. I love it when we reference the 90s, Chef. Thank you so much.
So 1996, I started working for this chef. And by 99, he sold me the restaurant. That's why Chayote is Chayote, and I had to live up to that name. But going back to your question, I think that I'm creating all the time. And sometimes one restaurant is too small for my creativity, right? And the drive that I have for new concepts. Speaking of which, just opened a new concept last night.
And it's in Puerto Rico.
In Puerto Rico, it's called Maro.
Okay.
Maro means myself. So it just happens to be really similar to Mario. So it means myself in Japanese. It's a Pacific Latino endeavor that I've gone into in Puerto Rico, and it's beautiful. But going back to your question, I'm always creating. I'm always for the challenge. I'm always up for the challenge. And I've always said that opening up a restaurant is like that first time that my parents brought me to Disney. Like all those butterflies and all that emotion and all that craziness. That's what I feel whenever I open up a restaurant. And I want to keep feeling that, like, you want to come to Disney all the time. So I want to keep feeling that all the time. So that's why I challenge myself in doing all these things and concepts and crazy, my team, what I got going for me is that my team is as crazy as I am.
But you create that fertile soil for them to create like that.
Oh, yeah.
What is that process?
I mean, my right hand, my chef, and my administrator and my general manager have been with me for 20 years.
That helps.
So they've been with me since they were teenagers. So they're practically my children. Yeah. So they're now partners with me. Yeah. I've made them partners. So that helps. I can be all over the place. I can be in Winter Park. I can be in Puerto Rico. I can travel with the things that we do around the world, cooking and representing Puerto Rico. And that's, I mean, the culture that I created and the luck that I've had with the people that surround me it's incredible.
So can I make an observation? My father was an orchestral conductor, and I sometimes find chefs' personalities to have that sort of grandiose sense of it's me, me, me. And I find it ironic that you named that restaurant and yet I find you one of the most humble and approachable chefs I've ever met. And I just, I remark all the time at how easy and warm you are in terms of your ability to connect with people. So here you are, this master craftsman, this amazing, flourishing artistic talent. And yet you're talking about your team and you are so approachable and warm. You also have, in my sense, an entrepreneurial sense of urgency. You're great about seizing the opportunities that are around you. And the ego is not so big that we can't do this, that, and the other. I mean, you just have this very approachable way with people. And I think you're speaking to some of that about how you work with your team.
Actually, my mentor, I have to give him the credit. He was pretty rough, as I was when I bought the restaurant off of him. I was like the old school kind of a, attitude. And
what's the old school attitude? I mean, I've seen the bear, but maybe not
throwing
sure.
dishes, yelling and, but that's not, I mean, I've learned, with him, and he eased up like at the end of his career. And we agreed that you need to treat everyone like you want them to treat you, right? It's like a simple law in life, right? So I remember my mom told me, I heard that you're yelling in the kitchen and you're doing this. We didn't raise you like that. And I'm like, you don't understand. The kitchen is freaking crazy and people don't understand. And, when you have a vision but then again, I think that I'm a sweetheart in the kitchen right now for the past 15, 16 years. And if you want to retain your good people, you need to be nice. It's very simple.
Okay, there's the top business tip today. You got to be nice if you want to retain your people.
You got to be fair and you got to be, firm, but you have to be nice. And it's just a simple fact.
So your food, which is among the most delicious things I've ever eaten, has a machismo to it. It's got a robustness. It's got a real integrity to it. But you've spoken about how you are consistently influenced by women leaders on your team. I think, how many women chefs do you have on your team at Chayote? 4?
4.
Okay. And the female architects that help you imagine that restaurant?
3.
And your mom?
Yeah.
Talk about the role of women in your business operations and your creative journey to bringing this kind of transformational food to the table.
So I've always said that women are my inspiration, have been my inspiration unconsciously since my beginnings, right? Because when I was probably 5, 6 years old, instead of like going out on the neighborhood, playing with, neighbors and kids and all that. I used to stay in the kitchen with my aunts and my nanas and my grandmas and my mom, because they always gossip around the kitchen, and they used to cook around, like the center of the operation was always in the kitchen. And I used to sit on top of the countertop of the kitchen and actually burn my foot on a hot soup, because I used to walk around the counter and all, because I've always liked the kitchen. And that Ratatouille movie, that smell, like that moment that brought them, like the food critic that brought them back to childhood. That's what happens when you were just telling me before
the smells
we started
here,
about
unbelievable.
the smell. So that brings me back to my roots. That brings me back. Sometimes I smell something in my kitchen and it brings me back to an episode. I call them an episode that I had with an aunt or with one of my grandmas or with my mom. And the best pastry chef that I knew was my grandmother.
Oh my gosh.
So I think it was something natural, but I wasn't actually thinking about it, but it helped me a lot. It helped me a lot.
So what was your grandmother's your favorite pastry of your grandmother's?
Oh, the carrot cake. Carrot cake. Oh my God, the carrot cake.
Do you make her carrot cake?
With a little bit of rum.
With a little bit of rum. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, it's rum. Everything tastes better with rum. I can tell you that.
And how old were you the first time you were just sitting behind the stove yourself, cooking stuff up?
Out of necessity when I was in college.
Really?
The most that I would do when I was a kid was a grilled cheese, which is
an art. We're talking about that.
Which is an art.
Because I have friends who are cordon bleu trained, and you can tell the quality of the chef by the grilled cheese that he makes for him or herself.
Yeah, it's about.
Tell me about your grilled cheese.
I think it's all about the cheese.
Okay. What's your cheese in a grilled cheese?
What are my cheeses?
Ooh.
I mean, one cheese on a grilled cheese is too boring.
Are you grating it in there? Or does it? Okay. And then top tip, can we have the secret to Chef Pagan's grilled cheese?
Well, I think it's a holy trinity.
Okay. Sounds like it. A cheese trinity. I am in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love fontina.
Okay.
Cheddar.
Okay. White or white cheddar?
It can either or.
Any cheddar.
Yeah, it can be white, sharp, mild, whatever, and it can be yellow.
Okay.
But I like white better. And Gouda. I love those three.
And is it a third, a third, a third?
A third, a third, a third.
Okay, and then you'd come home from the restaurant at 1:00 in the morning and whip one of those up for yourself, grating all the cheese and everything?
No, I'll stop somewhere else after. I don't cook after the restaurant.
Okay.
There's too much cooking involved. I'll cook on a Saturday or a Sunday or something like that, but not like after. But if I need to do it, I'll do it. I'll have one of my guys do it for me. There's things that if I go to my restaurants, I usually ask, instead of me cooking something for myself, I like how it tastes from your hands.
Because it has the secret ingredient in it.
Yeah, but
when somebody else makes your food, it's always better.
Yeah, it's always better.
It's always better.
It's always better.
Okay, so speaking of cooking, I think we've got to get to it.
All
right, I can't take it anymore because the smells are so amazing here. And we've been watching this setup, and I think you're going to now demonstrate how to make something amazing.
Yeah, we're going to do one of our iconic dishes at Chayote, and it's going to have lobster involved and some mofongo involved as well.
I love it. I can't wait. One of the things I love about you bringing these concepts to Winter Park is that you're literally bringing the world to Winter Park. And I want to talk a little bit about your journey and how you did that. Maybe you'll tell us while you're cooking and then tell us that story.
Yeah, of course.
But I want to talk about what you're going to make here today.
So we're making a lobster mofongo.
I can't wait.
It's actually a lobster thermidor mofongo.
Okay.
The sauce involves a little bit of cheese and some lobster stock into it, and some shiitake mushrooms.
All right. Now, I've had mofongo before, but what are the integral ingredients that makes a mofongo a mofongo?
So mofongo is a dish, as in Puerto Rico, our food influence it's a mixture in between Taino, that are Indians back in the day, native Indians, the African slaves that came over with Christopher Columbus and all these guys, and the Spanish influence, because there's a lot of Spanish influence with the conquistadors. So mofongo is a dish from Africa called fufu. And what they do it with plantains, right? So what they do is that they fry the plantains.
Ooh, yummy.
Yeah, and everything fried tastes better. So they fry the plantains, and then they mush them in a mortar. Yeah. We call a pilon and a maceta. It's made out of wood, comes from Africa. In Puerto Rico, they're everywhere. They're like a local.
Like, is this a special one, or is this just one you have around? One. Yeah. Can you tell us about this?
This is actually the one from the restaurant.
Do they know it's gone?
No, they don't. They don't. I sneaked in like really, really early today, and I kind of grabbed it. They must. But
sorry,
we
guys.
Still have time.
We've got your mortar right now.
Yeah. So it's usually made out of a wood called guayabo in Puerto Rico. That is the guava tree, or we make them out of oak as well, roble in Puerto Rico, and we have beautiful artists making them, even walnut. I mean, whatever wood you want.
So is your mofongo different based on what wood is used for the mortar?
No, it's about the seasoning.
Oh, okay. All right. I love it.
So mofongo has been done with plantains since the beginning of time. In this case, we're doing yuca or cassava. I think that for the lobster, the plantain is too pungent and too strong, which the cassava, it's softer. It's not that starchier, and it's sweeter.
Okay.
It's not as the plantain has more like a soil kind of a flavor. So and you've seen plantain mofongos everywhere. So we're gonna do it with yuca.
Love it. Your yuca at Chayote is my favorite. It is the most delicious yuca I've ever tasted.
So, but I'm gonna have you. I'm gonna teach you how to make the mofongo. So what we're going to do. This is the maceta and this is the pilon.
Okay.
So I'm going to put a couple of garlic cloves in there. And we're going to put some salt just to give it a little bit of traction.
Okay.
And you're going to grab this puppy and you're just going...
I'm left-handed, so here we go.
And you're just going, there you go. Oh my God. Okay.
Okay, people have rage rooms right now. I don't need a rage room. I can come in here and just do this.
Okay, so you mush the...
Should I pound it or kind of grind it?
Yeah, you can pound it, but I don't want you to get it in your... Okay. Usually, this is what you do.
Okay. Let's watch the master.
You put your hand here because you don't want to splatter into your...
Okay.
And you go like that.
Okay.
Until it's done. And you take a look at it, and you keep doing it.
Okay.
Okay, so we have...
I don't know.
Do you think it's...
I don't know.
Almost...
I mean, it should be crushed, right?
Yeah, it should be crushed.
It looks pretty crushed. I don't know, Chef. What do you think?
Yeah.
I did it. All right, good.
Yeah, but you're not done yet.
Okay.
Okay, so now, this is the yuca.
The best part.
That we've peeled, fried, and now we're going to put it in here.
God, this is the best smell. Your yuca is the best.
Wait. And we're going to put some cilantro. Some butter, and we have butter here, and we made a compound butter with a little bit of cilantro as well.
The cilantro butter smells so
good. And I know I put some salt, but there's a lot of yuca there, so I'm going to put a little bit more. And now is where the fun starts, because when you do mofongo at home, I mean, we can't do it at the restaurant, of course, because we don't have time for that. But you turn on the music, you have a little wine, and then you start dancing with it while you mush it, while you mash it. Let's go. Let's go. Right. There you go.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool.
There you go. There you go. Okay. Oh, I love it.
Love it.
You see? And then you go from side to side.
Okay.
Kind of scrapes this. There you go.
Okay.
Oh my God, you're a pro.
It's like a butter churning moment in here.
Exactly. It's like butter churning.
This
got
is
it.
amazing.
You got it.
I want to make this now. This is so cool. Can we just get your chefs to do all my mise?
This is your first mofongo?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want your chefs to do my mise en place when I do this at home.
Okay. We'll have it.
This is Betsy's first mofongo. I'm very excited.
Awesome. That's amazing.
All right, are we done?
Okay, well,
I don't know.
We need to taste it to see
this
if we're
is high
done.
pressure. Doing this to your standard, chef. I don't know.
Not really.
I hope
Not
it's
really.
okay.
Not really. Let me see.
It just smells so good. Look, chef's gonna do this. Like cooking with your 5-year-old niece. Oh, that's really good, is what he's gonna say to me. Wait, that's really good.
We're gonna put a little bit more butter because we're not afraid of the butter. And we're put it just to finish it up. Our house seasoning that is called adobo.
Okay.
And adobo's got a coriander, white pepper.
That's what this is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some garlic powder, some onion powder, some paprika. Like, you make your own adobo. It's like you make your own seasoning. You make your own seasoning. So let's keep pounding.
Okay. Okay.
And you gotta go in there and
really give it the business.
Exactly. And now you're gonna taste this right after I'm done. And you tell me if we're ready or not.
This is my favorite Caribbean carb, is the yuca. I love it. Oh my God. This is so good.
Let me see.
This is so good. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Caribbean carbs. I'm so happy. This is delicious.
Oh my God.
Are we putting more in there? Is this more yuca?
No.
This is amazing.
Yes, more yuca.
Oh my
that's
God.
for later.
This is so yummy looking.
Okay, so we have the mofongo there. And what we're going to do is that we have...
You could do this instead of mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, of course.
Yum.
Of course. And you can put whatever compound butter you want to put into it. If you like rosemary and thyme or, whatever you like.
Okay.
Whatever you like.
I'm very inspired.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the stove over here. Because we're going to start the lobster.
Okay.
And... lobster and the sauce, of course. So what we have is a Caribbean, Bahamian, rock or spiny lobster.
Yeah.
So a little bit of butter, of course, because butter is never going to kill you.
Okay, you heard it here first. Butter is not going to kill you.
It's not going to kill you. It's not going to kill you. It's the amount of butter that you put in. So we're going to heat this up. And we're gonna just put the lobster meat in there.
It doesn't need very much time, does it?
No, you don't want to cook it a lot. It's just there's people that love to cook the lobster like very, very well done. But I think like a medium, because the carryover heat is just going to cook it.
So it'll cook on the plate a little bit afterwards.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. So, you see, we only have it there for a little bit of time. And that's how we do it at Chayote. And I have this in Puerto Rico as well at one of my restaurants.
Oh, that looks so delicious. My grandmother always said simplicity is the hardest thing to achieve. And I'm watching you put lobster in butter.
Yeah.
And it already looks flawless. And now look at this. A dropper of, what are you putting in? White
wine?
I think I'm going to start putting my wine in with a dropper in my kitchen. It's going to make me feel a little fancy.
Okay, and here we have the sauce.
And what's the sauce made of?
Basically is a lobster stock. And we do a bechamel with a little bit of cheese, because we're going for that Thermidor look and taste. So we have it ready over here. And then we're going over to plate the dish.
Okay,
so we're going to bring it over here. We're not going to put that there. If you want to
I'm
the
going to
honors
plate
and-
it?
Yes, of
Oh
course.
my gosh.
So what we're going to do
Look
here,
what we have.
tweezers. Yeah. Okay, so we have the mofongo.
Y'all, this mofongo is unbelievable. I'm so excited about it. So in the restaurant, they're literally scooping it out of this thing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
They are.
Oh, this is so beautiful.
It's a free-form mofongo right there.
Okay.
Okay.
I love it.
So, because you want to get fancy over
We
here,
do.
it's your mofongo.
It's Winter Park, chef. I mean, we want to get a little fancy, don't you think?
You do with your mofongo whatever you want to do with your mofongo. So, let's get creative over here. And let's do a ring mold.
I get to put a hashtag on this episode. Hashtag my mofongo. I'm really excited about it.
This is your mofongo. This is
Okay,
Betsy's mofongo with lobster.
This is Betsy's mofongo with lobster.
Exactly.
I'm so excited.
So we're gonna get a new plate over here.
Okay.
And we're gonna
Look at this.
There
Oh
you
my
go.
gosh, my mofongo looks
There
so
you
good.
go. That's a beautiful mofongo right
I love
there.
it.
Okay. And this is the tail that we took the meat out.
Yeah.
And we cooked it a little bit with some
This
butter.
looks so good.
And we're just gonna place it right there. We're gonna make like a little base. And
you know, regular people like me only get to see this after it comes out. This is pretty exciting to watch your process here.
yeah, so we're gonna
Look
place
at
the lobster
this.
right in there.
Oh, it looks so good.
And it smells really good. Smells like the Caribbean, man. Like it smells like the Bahamas.
Get back in there, little lobster meat.
I mean, and of course in Puerto Rico we do this with local lobster.
Yeah. Is that lobster similar to this or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have spiny lobsters in Puerto Rico as well. Not rock from the Bahamas. And we're going to
Oh, that bechamel is beautiful.
drop the bechamel right here. You want to kind of coat a little bit of the mofongo?
Of course you do.
Right?
Look at that.
Look at that.
Oh, this is gorgeous.
Oh my God. Right there.
All right, I want to make this now myself. It won't be as good, I know,
But
I'm
it's
inspired.
but it's easy.
I'm
It's
so
an easy dish to do.
inspired.
And to finish it up, we had some garlic panko breadcrumbs
Yum.
to give it a little bit of crunch.
Okay.
So we're gonna throw that in there
Oh my gosh, they look gorgeous.
all over the place.
Oh, love it.
And of course, it's not a thermidor if it doesn't have some mushrooms. So what we do at Chayote is that we do shiitake bacon. So these
Shiitake bacon?
Yeah, shiitake
What is
bacon.
that?
Taste one.
Oh my God, that looks so good.
It's a shiitake bacon.
Mm.
We can probably like bag them and sell them. But I don't want any more complications in my life. Yeah.
That is delicious.
And then we're gonna get a little bit more fancy with the tweezers right here.
It.
And put
See how he doesn't trust me with the tweezers? That's probably a smart move. Oh my gosh.
Some
Look at how
micro cilantro.
beautiful this is.
right there.
All right, now one of the cool things about where we are at the Edible Education Experience is there's a garden outside, and I took pictures
Which
of
is
you.
flowers are from.
Look, you just went out and grabbed these
Some
from right
marigold.
outside.
Some marigold right there.
It's so gorgeous.
Beautiful, beautiful garden. Some marigold. Why not some lavender? Just for the smell.
Look at that.
And it's gonna look beautiful as well.
Okay, so the architecture and the art and the food, it's all coming together in this beautifully structured dish.
Yeah, it's like a bouquet, you
This
know.
is
You build it up,
amazing.
you know. I know that you want to taste the lobster, but
Yeah.
this is pretty fragrant
It's
and
beautiful.
some pansies right here.
Look at just a little pansy.
Yeah, beautiful.
This is stunning.
And that's your lobster mofongo. And
cooking with your 5-year-old
Yuka.
niece is what this is. But this is what we can get right in Winter Park.
Yes.
You have brought the world to Winter Park. We
Yes.
just love this so much.
Yes.
So Central Florida's got this huge array of culinary offerings, and we love that the really special ones are right here in a place maybe people might not have heard as much of as Orlando. How did you choose Winter Park? What was the decision to be in this place among all other options?
I lived in Miami 11 years while I was going to architectural school and culinary school. And I've always wanted to do something in Florida. I worked at Norman's with Chef Norman
That'll
Van
do
Aken,
it.
which is, I mean, the cornerstone of Florida cuisine. I mean, he is the best. I love him to death. And he was a force to be reckoned with back then and he still is, which is weird because he moved from Miami and Key West to Orlando, and he's doing really great here. He loves Orlando, and what happened is that I had a friend of mine that called me up, a Puerto Rican friend of mine, and he told me, "I heard you looking around Orlando to open up a restaurant." And I'm like, "How do you know that?" "Well, I heard it over the grapevine. It just so happens that I have a little mall in Winter Park." And I'm like, "You have a little mall in Winter Park?" It's a Puerto Rican friend of mine. I'm like, "Where is it?" "Well, Winter Park Village." And I'm like, "Okay, so I've been there. That's yours?" So little did I know, Winter Park Village has been a Puerto Rican owned mall for property for, I don't know, close to 30 years now.
Yeah.
And just so happens that, I said yes. I mean, it was...
We're so glad you did.
Yeah.
We are so glad.
Yeah.
How's the experience been for you? I think the community's
Amazing.
really embraced you guys.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, the city... You
Me?
and everyone else in here. I mean, the welcome has been amazing. This is our practically we have a year in right now, a year and a half, and we're so excited to be part of the neighborhood.
Well, we're absolutely thrilled to have you, and I think you're going to let me taste this in a minute.
Of course.
But as we wrap up, a couple of things: be nice to your team if you want to keep them, right? Bring something from every part of your past, your abuela sitting in the kitchen. Allow inspiration to come from wherever it's organically going to make its way into your life.
Yeah, just think about those dishes that you really loved when you were a child and just,
And a good grilled cheese has 3 parts of cheese to it.
3 parts of cheese.
Okay, Chef Mario Pagán, we've loved hearing about architecture, art, grilled cheese, and how well things are going in Winter Park for you. If you haven't been to Chayote yet, it's the world, come here. So if you're in the world, please come visit us. We'd love to have you at Chayote. Do we get to try this now?
Yes, of course.
The best part ever. Here we go.
Okay. Let me get a little bit of your mofongo.
I'm a little nervous, but you
Why?
oversaw me the whole time, so I'm
you.
sure it's going to be delicious.
The kitchen doesn't bite.
All right. Oh, God. Absolute heaven. Thank you, Chef. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today on the Be Student Podcast. Like, share, and subscribe. We can't wait to see you next time on our episode.